Welcome back, everybody. Today's deep dive takes us down a slightly different path.
Yeah.
We're going to be spelunking, if you will,
Okay.
into the depths of a single personal blog.
Hmm. A single blog, huh? So are we talking about like a niche expert or someone who's a little more all over the place?
I think it's safe to say all over the place is a good way to put it.
Okay.
Our subject this time is a fellow who goes by Kian Meng online.
Kian Ming.
Yeah, and he describes himself on his website as an old software plumber.
Okay.
But his blog, kianmeng.org,
All right.
is really this fascinating kind of rabbit hole of thoughts on just about everything you can imagine.
Wow. So like what kinds of things are we talking about here?
Oh, gosh. You name it. He's got gardening.
Hello?
He's got posts about breeding dead fish.
Huh.
He even gets into some pretty in-depth stuff about coding in a language called Elixir.
Elixir. Now for someone like me who's not a programmer, what in the world is Elixir?
So Elixir is a programming language,
Okay.
and it's mainly used for building really complex systems, like the kind that would power things like real-time applications
Oh, wow.
or massive online platforms, things like that.
So this Kian Ming is a pretty technically minded guy, it sounds like.
Yeah, he definitely seems to enjoy diving deep into often really technical interests.
Yeah, I mean, what strikes me right away is just the dedication to blogging itself. I mean, his site goes all the way back to 2011.
Yeah.
And we're talking thousands of posts here. Just in January 2025 alone, he's already got like 28 entries up.
It is remarkable, isn't it? That kind of consistent output is it's pretty impressive.
It really is, yeah.
And for today's deep dive, we're going to be focusing on one specific post,
Oh, okay.
all about Kian Meng's recent trip to a lotus farm.
A lotus farm. Well, that sounds very peaceful.
Yeah, it does. And it sounds like he came back feeling pretty inspired, maybe to create his own kind of water garden paradise.
I could see that.
But, one of the first things he mentions in this post is that he was really surprised by the farm setup.
Okay, what was so surprising?
There are mini ponds.
Yeah.
See, they didn't have any fish in them.
No fish. Huh, that is interesting because you would think, incorporating fish would be beneficial, right?
I would think so.
Create a little ecosystem, some natural fertilization, add some visual interest.
Right?
It's a whole concept called aquaponics,
And what's interesting is Kian Meng has actually been experimenting with aquaponics himself.
Oh, he has.
Yeah, in his own garden.
Okay.
So seeing this no-fish approach at the Lotus farm really made him wonder if he was, maybe missing something.
Yeah, maybe he is. Or maybe the farm has specific reasons for doing things that way. Maybe they're just going for a certain aesthetic.
Right.
Or maybe they're worried about certain types of fish disrupting the lotus growth.
That's true.
Really makes you think about all the different factors that go into even these seemingly simple setups,
Absolutely. And this trip got him thinking, really thinking about growing lotus himself.
Mm.
But then the big question became, should he start from seed? Or should he go for mature plants?
That is the classic gardener's dilemma, isn't it?
It is.
I mean, seeds are definitely cheaper,
Oh, yeah.
and they offer that real satisfaction of, nurturing something from scratch.
Yeah.
But it's a very time-consuming process. It takes a lot of patience.
It does.
Now, on the other hand, mature plants, you get that instant gratification,
Instant beauty.
That's it. But, of course, they tend to be a bit pricier,
Of course.
and you're a little more limited in terms of the variety that you can find.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Now, knowing Kian Meng,
Yeah.
how much he loves to document absolutely everything,
Right.
you'd think he'd have come back from this trip with a car full of plants.
Yeah, for sure.
But he didn't buy anything.
He didn't.
Nope.
I guess that's where that software plumber mindset comes in.
Maybe.
He's not just jumping into things.
Yeah.
He's observing, he's gathering information, he's planning. This wasn't just a whimsical trip for him. This was reconnaissance.
Oh, that's a great way to put it.
Like he's scouting out the territory for a future project.
I love that. That's exactly what it feels like.
Yeah.
It really does speak to a level of intentionality that you don't always see,
I know, it's pretty impressive.
And it makes you wonder, what else is hiding in this blog?
Hmm.
What other projects has he approached with this same kind of thoughtfulness?
I'm curious to find out. And speaking of his other gardening exploits, it looks like he's documented this whole journey with marigolds.
Oh, yeah.
And he's got some pretty interesting tips on growing basil as well.
I know we could spend a whole deep dive just on his gardening posts.
Absolutely.
But for now, let's stick with this Lotus farm visit
Okay.
and what it reveals about Kian Meng.
Yeah.
This wasn't just a leisure activity for him.
Right.
It was targeted research. he's clearly someone who values careful observation and planning.
And that's such a valuable lesson for all of us, really, isn't it?
I think so.
Whether it's gardening or starting a new project at work or even just, making a decision about what to cook for dinner.
Right.
Taking the time to observe and plan can lead to much better outcomes.
Absolutely. It's about being mindful and intentional in our actions.
Exactly.
Wow.
Now, imagine applying that same mindset to his other interests.
Lotus, yeah.
We've got betta fish breeding.
Right.
We've got complex coding projects.
This is where things start to get really interesting.
I bet. Because it turns out, those seemingly disparate hobbies actually have a lot in common.
They really do.
Oh. Okay, I'm all ears. Tell me more.
Well, let's unpack that in the next part of our deep dive, shall we?
Let's do it.
All right, so we've talked about Qianmeng's his love of gardening,
Yeah.
but his blog really is this incredible kind of buffet of interests.
It is.
Remember those betta spawn logs we mentioned earlier?
Yes, those definitely piqued my curiosity.
Yeah.
Breeding bettas, it just seems so different, from that, contemplative world of lotus ponds.
You'd think so, right?
Yeah.
But stick with me here,
Okay.
because bettas, those colorful Siamese fighting fish,
Right.
they can actually be quite demanding little creatures.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. And Qianmeng, he meticulously documents each breeding attempt.
Wow.
I mean, we're talking water conditions, the parent's lineage, the number of eggs, how many fry hatch.
Hmm.
It's incredibly detailed.
It's amazing how he applies that same meticulousness, that we saw with the Lotus research
Right.
to something like beta breeding. It's fascinating.
It is, and it makes me wonder, is he trying to breed some kind of champion beta?
Yeah. Is that his goal?
Some breeders, they really focus on aesthetics.
Sure.
But Qianmeng, he seems much more interested in the process itself.
Okay.
He's tweaking variables, he's analyzing outcomes, he's constantly trying to optimize his breeding setup.
There's that systems thinking approach again.
I know.
It's like he's treating it as a scientific experiment.
He is?
Gathering data, trying to really understand the intricacies of beta breeding.
Exactly. And it makes me wonder, is this meticulous documentation just for his own benefit?
Right. Yeah.
Or is he sharing this knowledge with others?
That's a great question because you can imagine how valuable that would be, for other beta enthusiasts.
Oh, absolutely.
He could be contributing to a whole community of breeders, helping them avoid pitfalls.
Yeah.
Helping them improve their own practices.
It speaks to the potential of blogs like Qianmeng's to become these real hubs for niche communities, right?
Yeah.
A place where you can exchange ideas, learn from each other's experiences, and really advance knowledge in these sometimes unexpected fields.
It's like citizen science in action.
It really is.
But we can't forget about Qianmeng's original self-description, as a software plumber.
That's true.
How does that technical side fit into all of this?
Well, that programming language elixir he uses?
Yes.
The one that's all about building these highly reliable, complex systems?
Right, right.
When you look at his blog posts about coding, a really fascinating pattern starts to emerge.
Okay, I'm sensing a connection here. Tell me more.
He approaches coding with that same systems thinking mindset.
Okay.
He breaks down problems, he experiments with solutions, and he documents his process meticulously.
Interesting. So just like he does with the betas in the garden.
Exactly.
Huh.
So whether he's optimizing code or nurturing a delicate ecosystem in a fish tank
Right.
or planting the perfect lotus pond,
Yeah.
it's all about understanding the interconnectedness of things and finding ways to make those systems thrive.
You got it. And it really challenges the notion that these are just separate, isolated interests,
I know.
For Qianmeng, it seems like they're all connected by this underlying drive to explore, to experiment, and to optimize.
And that's what makes his blog so compelling.
Right.
It's not just this random collection of thoughts.
Right.
It's a window into how a curious mind connects these seemingly disparate ideas.
I love that. And I think that's a really valuable takeaway for our listeners.
It is.
It's a reminder that we don't have to limit ourselves to these narrow specialties,
No.
Embracing a diverse range of interests, finding those unexpected connections can lead to a much richer, more fulfilling intellectual life.
Absolutely. But hold on a second. We're getting a little ahead of ourselves here.
Okay.
We're only looking at this tiny little snapshot of Qianmeng's blog, remember?
That's true.
This guy's been at it for over a decade.
Yeah.
Imagine the depth and the evolution of thought that we could uncover
Wow.
if we really delved into those archives.
Now that is a tantalizing thought.
Isn't it?
You ready to step into that time machine?
Let's do it. Okay, so we've covered Qianmeng's adventures in gardening, his meticulous beta breeding logs, and even his deep dives into the world of coding.
It's quite a range.
It is, but you know what really strikes me is just the sheer volume of output here. We're
Yeah.
talking thousands of blog posts spanning over a decade.
Most people's blogs, they kind of fizzle out after a few months.
I know.
What do you think drives this level of sustained engagement?
I think it goes beyond any single interest,
Uh,
I think Keon Meng is driven by just this pure love of learning and documentation.
yeah.
His blog becomes this incredible record of his intellectual journey.
That's what I find so fascinating about it.
Yeah.
We're not just seeing snapshots of hobbies.
Right.
We're witnessing the evolution of a mind.
We are.
How have his interests shifted over time?
Yeah.
What themes have endured? What new paths has he explored?
And you start to notice these fascinating threads woven throughout.
Right.
Well, take his fascination with systems, for example.
Okay.
Whether it's the delicate balance of a fish tank's ecosystem,
Right.
or the logic of a programming language, or the careful planning of a garden,
It pops up everywhere.
everywhere.
Huh. It really speaks to a certain cognitive style, doesn't it?
Yeah.
This drive to understand how things work,
Yeah,
how elements connect and interact.
exactly.
It's not just accumulating knowledge, he's actively seeking out the underlying principles.
He's building mental models of the world around him.
He is, and that's something we can all learn from.
Absolutely.
That systems thinking approach can be applied to almost anything.
Whether we're tackling a complex problem at work, or learning a new skill, or even just trying to understand a current event,
Right.
that ability to see the bigger picture, the interconnectedness of things, is so valuable.
It's about moving beyond those surface level observations and asking the why questions.
The why questions, exactly. Why does this system work this way?
Right.
What are the key factors influencing it?
Yeah.
How can I tweak it to achieve a different outcome?
And Keon Meng's blog, in a way, it provides us with a model for this kind of thinking.
It does.
It encourages us to approach learning with that same curiosity,
Yeah.
to not be afraid to dive into unfamiliar territory.
To embrace the joy of discovery.
Exactly, and to document our journey along the way.
Yes. We've talked about the value of Kian Meng's meticulous notes for other hobbyists,
Right.
but I think there's a personal benefit to it as well.
Oh, you mean the act of documenting itself can deepen our understanding?
Absolutely. When we take the time to articulate our thoughts,
Yeah.
to make connections between ideas, it really solidifies our learning.
It does.
And it creates this record that we can revisit later on,
Right.
allowing us to track our own intellectual growth over time.
It's like building our own personal library of knowledge.
It is. And who knows, maybe someday someone will find value in our own unique perspectives,
That's a nice thought.
just like we're finding value in Kian Meng's.
I like that. So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
I want to leave our listeners with a final thought.
Okay.
What if you were to create your own qianmeng.org?
Oh, I love that.
Not necessarily a public blog, but a personal space to document your own learning journey.
A space for those aha moments. The unexpected connections.
Yeah.
The evolving mental models.
It could be notes, sketches, articles.
Anything that captures your intellectual curiosity.
Exact. Your own personal deep dive archive.
It doesn't have to be shared with the world, but it could be incredibly valuable for you.
Absolutely. A way to reflect on your growth, track your interests, and really solidify your understanding of the world.
A reminder that learning is a lifelong adventure.
It is.
And just like Kian Meng, we can all be explorers documenting our discoveries and sharing our insights, even if it's just with ourselves.
Beautiful.
So there you have it, a glimpse into the fascinating world of qianmeng.org. We hope this deep dive has sparked your own curiosity and inspired you to embrace the joy of lifelong learning. And until next time, happy exploring.